With all the luggage system problems now ironed out, the project is still on schedule. Just. Today, Jeff and his team are testing the system in order to see if it will cope with the intense workload. The test will begin at T3A's check-in desks.
Right, we're nearly ready to go. When this airport's finished, it will be the biggest in the world. This can do something like 20,000 bags an hour. Might as well start on them now.
In the control room, they track the progress of the baggage around the airport.
Okay, I just need to know how many bags we have already let through.
It's the same problem we had yesterday. It's the CTB04 and the check trigger signal. I would talk to Jackie to check that out. We're almost done, but we're facing also some problems now with the manual encoding in T3B.
Coming through the tunnel.
Yes, having some stuck on the bags there. We can have a look later to the screens.
All right.
They're testing their machinery to avoid the worst-case scenario, a system-wide failure. The prospect of any such breakdown affecting Olympic guests would be unthinkable.
If the system fails during the Olympics, it'll be not only a disaster for Siemens, it'll be a disaster for the Chinese government. It'll be an embarrassment that'll be seen by the eyes of the world.
So out of the 5,000 bags for today's test, how many are through the system already?
4,500.
So we're almost done with the test then?
Yes.
All right, the rest of the system looks like it's operating pretty well today then. I'm pretty happy with this.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
The system has coped with the strain. Jeff is relieved. The hard work is paying off.
In my mind, this system, the baggage handling system, is more of an engineering marvel than the building. And maybe I'm biased, but this is certainly one of the most sophisticated baggage handling systems in the world.
The project is all running to schedule when new aviation data comes through. Passenger numbers have rocketed beyond even the wildest estimates. Beijing's existing airport terminals were designed to serve 35 million passengers a year, but already serve a staggering 48 million. 24 months into the build, airport authorities suddenly realize they need an entirely new building, Terminal 3C. The world's biggest airport terminal will not be big enough. They had planned to construct T3C in 2010, but that would be too late. They must start the construction now. It's a major strain on the schedule, but Madam Chu is determined to forge ahead.
T3C is in the middle of T3A and T3B. If we needed further expansion in the future, the construction could cause conflict with airport operations.
This is no minor addition to the infrastructure. The requirement is for a building of over 80,000 square meters. It'll take 20,000 tons of steel and 80,000 cubic meters of concrete. It'll be a massive job, but the deadline can't be changed. Terminal 3C must be ready for the Olympics. Beijing's Terminal 3 is on track to meet the Olympic deadline when an unexpected challenge arises for Madam Chu. With passenger numbers going through the roof, this super terminal now needs an entirely new building, Terminal 3C. They have only 23 months to make it happen.
The construction of T3C will at first be mainly to serve the Olympic teams. We anticipate that about 80% of them will come in as groups, so we will let them go straight through T3C.
T3C can now transport Olympic teams to the Games. But as T3 races to the finish, the whole of Beijing is under pressure to be ready on time. A citywide makeover is in its final stages for the Beijing Olympic Games. Every construction project must be completed by August 2008. Terminal 3 will be the gateway to this 21st century metropolis. The biggest airport terminal ever built. As the gateway to not only the Games, but to the whole of China, it's essential T3 is up and running. On the 30th of April 2006, the roof and structure are finished. It's a moment for celebration. Madame Xu is rightfully proud of the work they've done.
I felt almost like it was my own child. From the very beginning, I could only keep trying. Now that it's almost complete, it's like my child is turning into an adult and it's time for him to make his contribution to society.
175 escalators and 437 travelators help speed passengers through this colossal building. 445 elevators must be installed to connect this 7-story terminal. For the engineers, it's the culmination of 4 years of toil.
Every cubic meter of the cement used for the construction of Terminal 3, every steel pile, they have our sweat on them.
But will their efforts be enough to make this the greatest airport in the world? The interior aims to be every bit as impressive. The structure now stands tall. Glass walls gleaming as far as the eye can see. It's a distinctively Chinese triumph.
The use of the colors, the temple-like marching of the red columns, it's very much about Beijing, and you wouldn't expect to see a terminal like this anywhere else.
The vast steel roof curves like a sleeping dragon against the Beijing skyline. Its triangular lighting vents beam daylight throughout the building.
As soon as you step through the front door and you're presented with this huge, vast space, probably the biggest enclosed public space in the world. You know, it just takes your breath away.
Not only in construction, but also in terms of economic development, China is right at its peak.
T3 marks the rise of this modern economic giant, propelling itself into the 21st century. A man-made marvel. An iconic gateway to China that all of her people can be proud of.